Discovering Chinese dramas in 2018 opened up a whole new world of Asian dramas to me, and I've been hooked ever since. 4 years later, Tea and Soju was born, so that I can extend my love of Chinese dramas and Asian dramas in general to others out there and find a community. So, sit back and let's chat Asian dramas. Hello, and welcome back to another episode of the Tea and Soju C-Drama podcast. I'm your host, Liliana, and it's the end of the month, which means I am going to go through all of my currently watching list, as well as some of the dramas that are finished up since, I was on a break. So I'm going to run through all of those as well. Currently watching episodes are always some of my favorite episodes to listen to in other podcasts. And it's one of my favorites to kind of do, produce as well, just because you just get to chat about pretty much everything that you're watching, and I feel like, at the end of the day, that's what gets us excited. So I hope you enjoy this episode. Just a little bit of housekeeping before we get into the episode. If you enjoy the podcast, please rate, subscribe, and comment and all of those things. All of those things allow other people to kind of find the podcast. If you would like to support even further, there is a Patreon, and I haven't done this in a little while, but I would like to give a big shout out to all of the patrons over on Patreon, and that is Grace, Nancy, Anonymous, Cheryl, Lorna, Caitlin, Suza, Marta, Purple Dinosaurus, and R. Thank you guys so much for supporting the podcast and for subscribing to Patreon. It means the world to me, and all of your help means that I can create better podcast episodes. So thank you. It honestly means the world to me. So if you'd like further content like behind the scenes extra reviews, as well as, first impressions and last impressions on dramas that don't make it onto the full podcast, check out Patreon. There is always a free trial on there, so you can check that out and see if it's something that you would like to subscribe to. Apart from that, just the comment and the subscribe helps a ton. So thank you again. And if you'd like to come and chat to me, follow me on all of the socials. And that is, Instagram, TikTok, all of those. I am always more than happy to hear from you guys. So if you want to, drop me a DM, my DMs are always open and I always reply. So, if you don't have anybody else to talk to, come and chat to me. But there is also the Tea and Soju Discord server. Discord is a very simple app to use, and you can use it for, pretty much anything to chat. And there's separate chat rooms there that are for separate dramas. So if you're into a particular drama and you want to talk about that one, things like that. So I will leave that linked in the description below. It is super easy and free to use, so anybody can join in on that one. And that is, the little community that we're kind of building for people who don't really have anybody to chat dramas with. So that is all of the housekeeping out of the way. So let's dive into the episode. Now, I tend to do this by categories, and I've kind of want to change it up a little bit. So what I'm going to do for this episode is I am literally just going to run through all the dramas that I'm currently watching dramas, and, in no particular order. Actually, the order I'm going to go in is basically the MDL, my MDL order, and that just means it's the drama that I kind of watched, last, so to speak. And then I am going to add something in. So lately I have been kind of getting back into anime a lot, and I know it's not what this podcast is for, but it is something I'm also currently watching. So when I do the currently watching episodes, I thought it'd be fun to just kind of pop those anime, what am I talking about? This is, honestly, guys, I feel like I'm a little bit rusty. I haven't recorded in a little while, and this is what you're getting. I swear I will get back back into the rhythm properly. But basically, I will just mention the animes that I'm watching as well, after I've gone through all of my dramas. And then I will just mention some dramas that I kind of watched over, the last sort of 2 months that I've been away from the podcast. And, just the ones that I kind of really enjoyed, because C-Drama Land seems to be really quiet right now. And it's a little bit annoying in a way, because there's quite a few dramas that are kind of like rumored to come up that I really, really want to watch. And knowing C-Drama Land, I know what they're going to do. So they tend to be quiet for like a month, and then they boom, like drop all of the dramas on you at the same time, and it's like you cannot keep up. They do this all the time, and it drives me bonkers, because I'm like, I just rather like a steady release schedule rather than, give me nothing for a month, starve me for a month, and then like overfeed me for another month. That's what it feels like. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoy this episode. Let me know if you're a long, time listener to the podcast. Let me know what you think. If you prefer the format of me going through my currently watching like in categories, or if you think this one is, a good format as well. I'm still trying it out and seeing which one I prefer. I'm actually going to be, so if you're listening on Spotify, I'm going to add in a poll to see which ones you guys would prefer, if the old format with the categories, or if this kind of like newer format where I go through my currently watching list, my, if I'm watching any anime, sort of slot those in there, and then just whatever dramas I've completed. But that's it. That's like the intro out of the way. So without further ado, let's get straight into the first drama that is, on my currently watching list, and that is the Chinese drama Mr. and Mrs. Chen. Now, this is loosely based on Mr. and Mrs. Smith, and I say loosely because this is set in Republican era, and therefore, it's gonna be very different. But what I really already enjoy about this drama is the main couple. But before we get into that, let's just read out my drama list description, because it's pretty short, but it kind of, tells you all you need to do. Set in the 1940s, former lovers Zhu Shuangtao and Chan Jiaping unexpectedly reunite and rekindle their love in a sea of spies as they pursue the same goals. So this stars Guan Xiaotong, and she's been in dramas such as Hu Tong, Dreams and Glory, A Girl Like Me, which I absolutely loved, really, really enjoyed A Girl Like Me. And, in a lot of other dramas, seems like I can't get my words out today. She's a child actress. That's what I was trying to say. And so she's been acting for a really, really long time. And she's very, very, very popular in China. And actually, she's one of the highest earning actresses in China in terms of endorsements and things like that, which I always find, because she's not as well known outside of China, I don't think, to international fans. And I think it's because the dramas she tends to be in are kind of more serious dramas, and I don't mean that those dramas don't hit it big outside of China. I'm just saying it tends to be dramas that don't make it as popular outside of China. So that's our female lead. Our male lead is Elvis Han, and he has just been in the recent drama Fake It Till You Make It, which if you like older couples, definitely recommend it. Really, really enjoyed that one. And other dramas such Our Story in Beijing, My Talent Neighbor, and, lots more. I haven't watched very much that he's in. I actually think the only thing I've watched him in is Fake It Till You Make It, and I really enjoyed him in that one. But I've been seeing the promo for this one for quite a while, and I've just been excited to watch it. And, this is, I think, 32 episodes, which isn't wasn't too long. And I am not the type of person who readily enjoys like Republican era dramas. So I was a bit dubious on that aspect. Now, the essence of the story is that they are both spies, and they are spies for, communist parties, anti-Japanese parties. And they are literally infiltrating Japanese camps. So they were like engaged to be married, I believe, and they sort of like their missions kind of took them in different directions, and they sort of had to, separate. But they did not leave things really nicely. So they were kind of like not, on good terms. They kind of meet up back again, and they kind of meet in a circumstance where they sort of have to work together to kind of like get each other out of a pinch. But they don't realize that they're getting each other out of a pinch, if that makes sense. So that's how kind of like their story starts. And I was mesmerized from episode 1. Like the way that this, like both the male lead and the female lead are so clever, and the way they kind of like work together is so good. Like, I am not like keen on the rest of the story. I mean, I'm still very intrigued by it and how they are resolving things, but I'm honestly here for the main couple, the way they kind of work together. And I love Guan Xiaotong. So our female lead, she is slaying this role. Also, Elvis Han is kind of like this, he's, on the surface, he plays kind of like this mumbling idiot, but he's really not. That's just, the persona that he's kind of playing, so people underestimate him, and he throws these cheeky grins at you and whatnot. So, like I said, I am definitely here for this main couple. I am up to episode 20. So I think today episode 21 and 22 would have been released. So I will be watching those straight after finishing recording this episode. But I'm very, very excited to keep watching it. It's something that, like I said, I'm really, really enjoying. So yeah, I'm also watching that. So it says it's a WeTV. It's available on WeTV. However, it doesn't seem to be available for me. So I'm wondering if it's regionally locked. However, it is available on the YouHug Media YouTube channel, and I've been hearing from people who have been watching on WeTV and have said that the subtitles are like AI translated, which means they're not very good. But the YouHug YouTube channel ones, they are not AI translated. They seem to be somebody translated them, and they are fairly good so far. Like, I've been quite happy with them. So that's where I'm currently watching it, and it's free. Like, it's not giving you any sort of, you have to be subscribed to, because YouTube now also does a subscription to the channels. It doesn't give you anything like that where you have to be subscribed to the channel or anything like that. So that's where I'm watching, really enjoying. So that's Mr. and Mrs. Chen. Next up, I am watching the currently airing Chinese drama Romance on the Farm. Now, this is an iQIYI drama, so that's where I'm watching it, and it stars Joseph Zhang, who has been in quite a lot. So he was in the fairly recent Mysterious Lotus Casebook as a main role. He had a couple of guest roles in My Journey to You and Meet Yourself. He was also in earlier on in last year. He was in the drama High Venus and Heroes. So I have seen him in quite a lot of dramas, and I tend to really, really enjoy his things. So I was looking forward to this one because of the male lead and the female lead, because the female lead is Tian Shi-wei, and she's been in things like Wrong Carriage, Right Groom, First Love, New Life Begins, Be My Cat. So she's been in quite a few things. And what I enjoy about Tian Shi-wei is that she has these very big doughy eyes, and when she smiles, it lights up her whole face, and it's kind of like a contagious smile. So she really does suit playing, these sort of characters. But I'm just gonna, basically, the drama is, she is a 21st century girl, and, she's a bit down on her luck. And basically, she gets invited to kind of take part in this trial for a game, and they literally hook you up, and they kind of, your consciousness and everything goes into the game. So you are the game, if that makes sense. You are in the game. So, and you're not conscious to anything like outside world, like you are living the game's life. And she kind of like gets transported into Lian Man R, who is kind of like a farm girl, and, her family are little, her dad and her mum are really nice people, but the rest of the family are not so good. And they kind of like take advantage. And she has certain tasks that she has to reach. One of the tasks is that she has to make 1,000 teals of gold to like pass on to the next level. And it's really hard because her family kind of like keep taking the money away, but she kind of like brings her modern day savvy to, the where the game is based, and she basically kind of, starts producing things such as wine or garlic peanuts, which now that I've heard them, like they keep mentioning it's her own recipe that she's brought from the future, and it's called it's garlic peanuts, and I just want to try these damn peanuts because they're in every single episode. And it's really funny because she makes the wine and she calls it brandy, and like everybody in the game is like, what the heck is brandy? Like, we've never heard of this. So it's really funny. And she kind of like crosses paths with Shen Nu, who is, Joseph Zhang's character. And he's kind of like this Desandre character where he's kind of like really cold on the outside but fluffy on the inside, that kind of character. But he doesn't stay like that for very long at all. And he kind of like is undercover in her town. So they kind of like work together to kind of like mutually reach their goals. So I'm watching this. I am completely caught up. I believe I am up to episode 16. It is 26 episodes long. So as of right now, I'm still very, very much enjoying it. It is like kind of a fun, silly drama, but it kind of touches on some really good points as well, like family and how much do you get let family get away with, like that sort of narrative. So it does touch on some more important parts throughout the drama, which I really, really enjoy. But overall, it keeps like a pretty light tone, and I really, really love the main couple together as of yet. So that's another one that once I finish recording this episode, I will definitely be going in to check out. So that's Romance on the Farm, and I'm watching that on iQIYI. So the next one on my list is called My Precious, which I feel like is just a silly name, but what is. Now, this one stars Zi Tao, and he's been in things such as Legally Romance and Forward Forever and The Brightest Star in the Sky. Now, I will say, I've watched him in a couple of things, and I don't really tend to enjoy his characters, but this one I kind of am enjoying. So, And then our female lead is Wang Heran, and she's, I think, fairly new in terms of she's been in things, but she's been more like a support role in a lot of things and not really, being like the main cast. So yeah, this is like one of the biggest ones she's done. She was the main role in The Last Princess, which I haven't really watched, and she was a support role in Mysterious Lotus Casebook as well. So a couple of other dramas. She was the main role in Nothing But You, which is from last year. So yeah, she's been in a couple of things. And so the main story for this is our female lead is a veterinarian. She's a vet. She wanted to be a doctor, but she couldn't couldn't go down that route. So she decided to be a vet because her father is a vet and he owns like a small family orientated vet practice. And basically she was studying and everything, and she comes across our male lead, Shen Mi, who is kind of like the heir to this big company. And basically he has the freaking most adorable dog, and it's this big white fluffy dog who is so stinking adorable. But basically I cannot get behind the dog's name. They named him Carlo, which just seems like the oddest thing to name a dog, but anyways. So basically they kind of meet because his dog gets really sick, and she is working in a vet practice that he brings the dog into, and the main vet kind of like says there's nothing else we can do, and she kind of like insists and keeps going, and he does actually come back. Now guys, word of warning, this is not proper vetting at all, because I swear to God, 1 minute this dog is like not okay at all, and then the next minute he's like up and at it. It's wild. Like 1 minute the main vet is telling Shen Mi, our male lead, that his dog is not going to make it, and then the next minute he's like up and at it, like I said. So there's questionable, even I'm not a vet, but there's definitely questionable, vet practices in this drama. It's definitely not accurate. So basically we fast forward, and her dad, who is the main owner of the vet practice, kind of like has a stroke, and she needs to step in, but she quickly realizes that the business is not doing well because her father was kind of like the front man of the business, and now like people don't really trust the business because he's not there, if that makes sense. And also she cannot operate, so she kind of like lost a pet, and she kind of like has a trauma, and she can look after them, she can do basic vet day-to-day things, but she just cannot go into the operating room and operate. So there is that as well. Now, like I said, this drama is kind of like definitely not accurate, but like, I don't know what it is. I'm really enjoying the stories of the pets and the owners that kind of come through. And basically what happens is that our male lead has a year to be able to take over the big company that his family owns. He has a year to take a failing business and turn it around, turn it into a profitable business. And he chooses her business. So they kind of like partner up. Now, that's part of what I'm really enjoying about this drama, is kind of like the found family that the vet practice has kind of, gathered around. So that's one of the things that I'm really enjoying. And also the pet stories, like there's the pets and the owners that come through the doors. Now, I will say I have shedded many tears throughout this drama, and it's probably because I lost my own dog about 4 months ago, and I think it still feels unreal to me sometimes. So I feel like the stories touch a nerve with me, and I don't know if because of that I'm enjoying this drama more than if that weren't the situation that I was in, if that makes sense. So take my words with a heeding of caution, so to speak, because I don't think this drama overall is great, but I'm still really enjoying it. The acting is okay. I will say our main couple did eventually get together. It is definitely a slow burn. Their kisses, they seem pretty fake. Like, I don't know what it is, but they just seem quite fake kissing. So if that's a turn off for you, probably not the drama for you, I would say. But I would say there's lots of cute dogs, cats, you you name it. Chickens, pigs, there's like lots of animals that kind of like come through the doors. And I think that's what I'm enjoying the most about this drama is the relationships between pets and owners and what they mean to each other, but also the like vet practice as a whole and how they kind of like have become a found family to bring this small orientated vet business from, bring it back from the clutches of, bankruptcy and failure. So that's the drama My Precious, and it is a Mango TV production, but their subs are horrendous. So I am watching it on Viki. Luckily, Viki did pick that up. So that's where I'm watching it. And next up, I have a Korean drama. Now, do I regret starting this? Yes, but not for the reasons you may think. Not because I think it's bad, quite the opposite. So, the one that I'm watching currently is A Good Day to Be a Dog. And that stars Cha Eun-woo, Park Gyu-young, and Lee Hyun-woo. So, I'm watching this on Viki, and the MDL description reads, Han Hae-na is a single high school teacher with a family secret. Due to an ancestor's fault, Han Hae-na's family has been cursed for generations. When someone in her family kisses anyone, they turn into a dog at midnight for 6 hours. Afterwards, they revert back to their normal appearance. This transformation repeats itself every night until that person in their dog appearance kisses the same person. Whenever Han Hae-na meets a man for potential romantic relationships, she asks that person not to kiss her. This usually leads to men to leave her. Drunk one night, Han Hae-na accidentally kisses Jin So-won, a teacher at the same high school, though they aren't even close as colleagues. Han Hae-na soon panics and persistently approaches Se-won for a chance at another kiss. However, Jin Se-won has a fear of dogs. So basically, she has this curse. If she kisses a man of the opposite sex, that was a ridiculous statement. If she kisses a man, she basically turns into a dog. I will say, this dog is so adorable. So stinking adorable. Very, very, very cute dog. But to basically break the curse, she has to kiss the same person, but in her dog form. And she has, I think, is it 6 months to do it or something like that, or 30 days to do it. She has a specific amount of time that she has to achieve this goal in. If she doesn't, then she will be stuck as a dog forever. So that's the story. And when I say, guys, episode 1 had me hooked. This is the type, it feels like a reverse to like a 2016, 2017 K-drama, but updated slightly to a 2023 kind of audience, if that makes any sense at all. I'm really enjoying it. The problem is, first of all, this is 1 episode a week, which for me, I don't really mind that. It kind of really suits my schedule and like how crazy I try to keep up with Chinese dramas. So it really does suit. The problem is, right, this drama started on October 11th, 2023. It's not going to finish till January 17th. And it is 14 episodes long. So that is a really long time. That's like almost 2 months worth of airing, so to speak, which would have been fine. But so they aired episode 1 and 2 in like one day, I believe. And then like the next week, I think they gave you episode 3. And now they're not going to give you episode 4 until like 2 weeks time because, I don't know, something's happening. And they're not airing it. I'm not sure. But that's what I'm like so annoyed at. It's like the airing schedule for it is just so out of whack, especially for like a K-drama. So yeah, they've aired episode 1 and 2. They aired that in the first week. And then they aired episode 3 this week or last week. And then there's like a 2-week hiatus, so to speak. So episode 4 is not actually out for another 8 days. And I'm just like, oh no. I have only watched episode 1, luckily. So I will probably like watch episode 2 this week and then episode 3 next week. And kind of like by the time I come around for episode 4, I won't have that much to wait. That's like my plan. I'm hoping it works. So yeah, that's the only thing I would say about this one, because I'm really enjoying it. I think, this female actress, Park Kyu-young, she has really good comedic timing. So she's kind of like perfect for this type of role to pull off that comedy. So yeah, I think this is going to work out really well. The only thing that I'm not as excited about is like the fact that this is very, very clearly a love triangle. Our female lead kind of like somebody else. She thought she was confessing to that person. Turns out she wasn't. So I'm hoping like the love triangle doesn't cause a lot of problems, because that's something I don't tend to enjoy as much in a drama. But for the time being, that's, where we're at. So next up is the Chinese drama Miss Mystery. Now, this is kind of like one of those short, crazy, wild dramas. And basically, I've actually only watched like 1 or 2 episodes, and the reason being I was waiting for it to be fully out, because with these ones I think they're about 3 or 4 hours long, and I always say, oh, it's fine, I will watch like an episode a day or whatever. But this one had again a very strange release schedule, and it was like releasing 2 episodes a week, and then it was releasing 4 episodes a week, and then I don't know what was happening. So I decided to kind of like wait a little bit and have it all out. So that will be this weekend coming up. For me, I will be like binging through this one, because I think it's 24 episodes of about 15 minutes. So yeah, I'm gonna wait and binge all of that. It is actually all finished. It finished up on October 20th. So now it's fully out. I definitely want to go back and watch it. So the drama, the MDL description goes, 18 years ago, a young and innocent Shu Tong witnessed her family being brutally murdered. Since then, she has hidden herself quietly, patiently waiting for the day she could put her revenge plan into action. Well, that day has come, and Shu Tong has finally returned to her hometown as Miss Lin Bo-ah, the daughter of a wealthy Nanyang businessman. Now an adult, Lin Bo-ah is clever, cunning, good with a gun, and skilled at understanding the depths of human nature. When she meets the charming young master Zhu Ganwen, the two decide to pose as a couple in order to progress their own interests. Neither can help but grow feelings for each other, but will their love be their greatest strength or their downfall? Now, what kind of really drew me into this one was the fact that the female lead was like, so she watches her whole family be murdered, and that happens literally in the first 2 seconds of the, 2 seconds, but the first 2 minutes of the first episode. So it's not like a major spoiler, because it's kind of like what drives her to do what she does. So that happens, and she kind of tucks away, but she learns everything, and she becomes this like a really competent female lead in terms of she can fight and she can really take care of herself. And like literally the first episode, they meet, the male lead and the female lead meet, and she kind of like overpowers him, and I was like, this is great. Like, she is definitely not a damsel in distress, and I kind of really enjoyed that in the first episode. So again, I'm quite excited to go back and kind of finish that one up. So that's Miss Mystery, and that is on Youku. So next up, I have the Korean drama Strong Girl Nam Soon. Now, everybody knows about this. This is the spin-off from Strong Girl Do Bong Soon, or Strong Woman Do Bong Soon. Now, I have a thing. I am not comparing these dramas at all, but Do Bong Soon is really special to me. It was my first ever Korean drama, and so I don't know. I was expecting from this one to kind of feel the same thing that I did for the original. But I don't think that's going to happen for me. And I think it's because, like I said, it was my first ever Korean drama. So I don't think it's ever going to be, I'm going to be able to feel for this one what I felt for that one. So I've been trying really, really hard to kind of like not compare the two and kind of just see them as two different things. And honestly, I do think it was probably one of their, it was probably better to not market it as kind of like, a spin-off or a sequel or whatever it may be, just because you can't help but compare them a little bit, and you're always going to land more in the court of one or the other in a way. Now, did I absolutely love Park Bo-young's and Park Hyung-sik's cameo in episode 3? Was it episode 3 or episode 4? I think it was episode 3. Absolutely. I was living for it. The problem was now I want a whole other season with just them again, because Do Bong-soon has a lot of problems in terms of storytelling, and it's like there's quite a few things that are problematic within that writing. But that couple slayed. To this day, it is still one of my favorite couples ever. And again, my views might be a little bit skewed because it was my first ever Korean drama, but still, I loved it. I really, really did. So I'm a little bit behind. I haven't quite connected with the characters in this one. I think I've only watched up to episode 3, I believe. So I am quite behind. I haven't really connected with the characters quite yet. I do appreciate actually that instead of just like one, like Do Bong-soon, there's a whole family, and they kind of explain a little bit better what's happening in this one. But again, I don't know. I still haven't quite connected with this one. And I don't know what it is. Like, I can't quite put my finger on it. So if you guys are watching this one, let me know what you're thinking, because I feel like a lot of people are watching this one, and it'd be interesting to see which kind of like court are you laying in. Are you trying to just keep it separate from Strong Girl Do Bong-soon, or are you watching this one never having watched Do Bong-soon? So, what kind of like court are you falling in? As of right now, like I said, I am enjoying it, but I haven't quite, connected it to it yet. I'm hoping it'll just kind of like ease into it a bit better for me, but we will see. So that's Strong Girl Namsoon. And then lastly on my list, I have one which I kind of like just dip in and out. It is a youth drama, and I've been watching it for a little while, and it's called Don't Disturb My Study, and it stars Landy Lee, who has been in things such as The Starry Love for this year, and, Go Into Your Heart, Faith Makes Great. So she's been around for a couple of things. I quite enjoy her. I really, really loved her in The Starry Love. So, yeah, and the male lead for this one is Lai Kwan Lin, and he's been not in a lot of things. So he's been in a little thing called First Love, and also he's been in Love for Life and Daydream Confession and Love the Way You Are, which I have watched and did enjoy. So yeah, Don't Disturb My Study. It's, youth Chinese drama, and the MDL description reads as, in 2020, at the age of 28, Nan Xiang-wan, the human resource director of a world-renowned company that on the surface looks like a powerful and self-confident person, is a patient full of anxiety that suffered from academic discrimination. High-tech psychotherapy brings Nan Xiang-wan's memory back to 10 years before, allowing her to review her senior year in high school and face class 7, which she was incompatible with. In order to re-enter Guanghua University, Nan Xiangwan has to solve one problem after another, such as the classmates who kept disturbing her study and the unbearable memories of high school. During this process, Nan Xiangwan gradually becomes friends with sports student Lin Xiaoran, and the two grow up during battles of wits and courage with each other. So basically, you kind of like start in the future, and she is just basically this like the description says, anxiety-ridden person, and it stems from those years in high school where she was discriminated against, and she has a chance to kind of like go back and redo those years as a way to work her therapy out. So that's the story in a nutshell. Basically, I am watching this one again on Viki because Mango TV subtitles are horrendous. I am 6 episodes in, and this one is the one that I have on my currently watching, and I kind of like just dip in and out of, a little bit here, a little bit there when I have an extra bit of time. It is 24 episodes, and it is from 2021. So far, I'm really enjoying it. I feel like it's not your typical kind of like fluffy, because she is an adult and she has all her memories from her adult world. So she remembers all of that. So it's quite funny in a sense to see her try to do things and be like, act a certain way. And then she remembers, oh yeah, I'm supposed to be a kid. So yeah, that's the other drama, and that is it. That is literally all I've got in my currently watching. It's been a while since my currently watching has been like this low on dramas. I think I tend to have a heck of a lot more dramas happening, but for this time round, that's it. How many is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 dramas is still like pretty good. And also the ones that I am watching tend to be airing pretty much every day. Romance on the Farm and Mr. and Mrs. Chen air quite a few days a week, and that's the 2 that I'm like running for. So I'm very, very excited. Although I'm like in both of them, it's like 10 episodes till they finish, so I'm getting to the point where I need to start picking up some others. But I do still have a couple. I have 3 dramas on my on hold list that I kind of want to bring out of the on hold list and finish them out before the year, so I can finish up my on hold list challenge. So maybe it is the time to do it, or maybe they will drop the dramas that I've been waiting. So there's been rumors. Only for Love with Bai Lu and Wang Hedi has been rumored for the end of October. So it's actually been rumored for the 31st of October. So I was like, oh God, is it gonna come out? Is it gonna come out? But I don't know. If it does come out, guys, I swear I will watch it that day, and I will do a first impressions for Patreon, like if it does come out on the 31st. I'm really hopeful. I was recording with Jess and Caitlin for another episode, and for a drama trio episode actually, and I was saying to them, I have 1 day of holiday left, and if they announce Only for Love out on the 31st, I swear I will take that holiday day and I will watch it, and it'll be worth it. It'll be absolutely worth it. So yeah, we shall see. That is like one of the ones that I'm really, really looking forward to. The promo for this, guys, like the images that they've been giving us. Oh my God, the chemistry between Wang Hedi and Bai Lu is already like speaking to me through photos. So I just cannot wait to watch this drama, and I need them to give it to me. So it's been rumored for that, but then it's also been rumored for November, and it's been rumored with it's one with Zhou Yi and Tan Jianqi, and I cannot remember the name of it. Typical. It is one that basically is it Love You, Love Your Voice or something like that? I believe it's something along those lines. Love Me, Love My Voice. So that is also rumored for next month, and that's one I'm very, very much looking forward to. So we shall see. Those 2 are ones and then I just need them to give me the story of Kuning Palace. I'm hoping that they do so that they do Only for Love, and then like Only for Love blows up and Bailu is in highs again, and Aichi is just like, we'll wait, we'll ride this wave and we'll give you the story of Kuning Palace. Guys, these I feel like they're just holding all the dramas that I want to watch. Story of a Chinese drama watcher, but what's new? Anyways, that's it. That's my currently watching list. So, swiftly moving along, I am just going to mention some animes that I've been watching, and there's not that many actually, there's only 3, and one of them is One Piece. Now, if you guys have been around Netflix and whatnot, Netflix has actually done a live action, which I also completed, really, really enjoyed, and it kind of brought me all of those feelings, so I got back into watching the anime. I sort of skimmed through, because I had already started One Piece a while ago, so I sort of skimmed through a couple of arcs that I had already watched, and if I'd remembered what was happening, I kind of moved along to the next one, and that means I am on episode 544, only another 500 and something to go, but this is I tend to watch this with my partner, and we kind of watch it, while we're having dinner or something like that. So what can you say about One Piece? I really enjoy it. On the surface, it's kind of like this silly story about a rubber guy, who wants to find this pirate chest. But if you go a little bit deeper, you actually realize that it's so much more than that. It's about friendship and family and doing what's right, but doing what's in protecting the people you love. So I absolutely loved it, and it's made me cry way more than once, I will say. So yeah, it's one of those that I really enjoy and I just go back to. So another one that I've started, and I said I was going to start this and then I ended up not starting it, but I have, because I was going on Crunchyroll and this one kept popping up as the second season was out, so I went in and started the first season, and that is Spy X Family. Now this one just seems like a lot of fun. Basically, it's a spy, and so the male lead is a spy and the female lead is an assassin. They don't know that about each other, and they kind of have to fake date because he needs her to pretend to be his wife, and he kind of adopts a little girl, and the little girl has the ability to read minds as well, and she loves spy shows and whatnot, so she kind of brings them together, and it's kind of this family that they're creating, but they're also doing missions independently. So it's a lot of fun. I'm really, really enjoying it. I think I'm about only 2 or 3 episodes in, so I'm really not that far in. And then I did start one yesterday, which my God, I'm really, really, really enjoying, and I wish it was completed, because I feel like I would have just binged, because I sat there yesterday and I discovered this anime because it popped up on a clip on my TikTok, and I was like, great, I'm going to check that out, and I'm so glad I did. It is called Apothecary. I cannot say that word apparently, but it's called The Apothecary Diaries, and basically it's about this girl, and she and her dad, so her dad runs an apothecary and she used to work there with him, and one day she kind of goes out and she gets kidnapped, and she gets sold to be a maid at the palace. And basically she cannot get out of that. She has to work there for a certain amount of time to be able to leave. So she kind of pretends that she can't read or anything like that, or that she's not knowledgeable, just so that because her kidnappers pretended to be her family to sell her to the palace, they kind of get a percentage of her money. And she's she just wants an easy life. She wants to do her time and be able to go back to her dad's apothecary. But basically, she's kind of a little bit of a mad scientist. She loves testing poisons and working on medicines and all of this stuff. That's what really gets her excited. And when she goes into the palace, there's this thing happening where there's 2 major concubines, the 2 biggest concubines in the palace. And they both have babies. One has a girl and one has a boy. Now, obviously, the one who has the boy has become the higher ranked concubine because boys, it is what it is at that time. But there's a rumor going around that there's a curse because both babies are sick as well as the concubine. So she's kind of like, she's hearing all of these people talk about like a curse, and she's like, I'm sure it's not a curse. There's got to be an explanation for it. But she doesn't want to get involved. She just wants to do her job and get on with it, do her time so she can go back home. But she kind of like, she cannot help herself but kind of like dig a little bit, and she figures out, nobody can, but she actually figures out what's wrong and what's wrong with the babies. And she kind of leaves a note for them, which results in the saving of the princess. The prince, unfortunately, does not survive. Now, she kind of catches the eye of this, he's kind of like the manager of the back court, which is like where all the concubines are and whatnot. He's basically kind of like the right hand of the emperor. And he is stunning, beautiful to look at, right? So he kind of uses that to his advantage. Now, every time he tries and flirts with her or anything like that, she shivers, but not in a good way. She's like, you're a freak, this and that. And it is so funny to see him. Like, she looks at him as if he's like a bug on her shoe. And he absolutely is in love with it, just because nobody does this. Everybody like falls at his feet. So that relationship there is already hilarious. But because she saved the princess, she kind of like gets drafted to go into that concubine's ladies in waiting. So she gets a huge promotion. And one of her jobs, this scene was so funny, one of her jobs is to test food for poison, because the concubine, food changes hands quite a few times, and there has been a couple of attempts on her. And she goes from being like really sullen and meek to all of a sudden being super excited, and people are like, she's crazy, because she gets, again, super excited with poisons and medicines and all of that. So it's kind of like her working out on cases and working with her knowledge. So needless to say, absolutely loving this. Thank God for TikTok algorithm bringing that video to me, because it's now one that I'm kind of like checking every day to make sure there's as soon as there's a new episode. I literally sat down yesterday because I saw that TikTok video and kind of searched it, and I was like, oh great, it's on Crunchyroll, I have a subscription, I can go check it out. So watched it on there, and there was 3 episodes up, and I literally binged the 3 episodes in one sitting, and I was like, this is great. So I'm super excited. I cannot wait to see what else comes out. I haven't read the manga or anything it's based on, so I have no idea where the story is going or anything like that, but I'm excited to see. As of yet, again, I'm really enjoying it. So that's the only 3 animes that I'm kind of watching right now. And again, animes are the things that I kind of dip in and out, apart from Apothecary's Diary, because that one, if there's a new episode of that, I'm running to it. So yeah, that's that list. And now I'm just gonna mention a couple of dramas that I enjoyed. So I finished up My Journey to You, really enjoyed it. I'm not going to touch any more on that because there is a full review coming up on Tea and Soju, and it's going to be a drama trio special, so look out for that. It is coming next month, and it's probably going to be fairly early on in the month that I'm going to release it, so I'm not going to touch any more on that. You will have my full thoughts on that there. So another one that I did finish, obviously Eternal Love, but we've already got also known as 10 Miles of Peach Blossoms. I've already did the review in the drama trio for that one. I finished up My Lovely Liar. It was okay, and then it feels like there was a couple of no problem with the acting. I really loved the acting. It was a story that lacked for me, and that pulled it down for me, but yeah, that was another one that I finished up. I did, guys. I made it to the end of The Real Has Come. I don't know how, but I did. I did score it a 6.5. So make that what you will. I do not recommend this weekend. I can't even in good faith recommend it to anybody. So yeah, do that with it. I'm proud of myself that I made it to the end of that. I don't know how. I think it was sheer stubbornness that I had made it to episode, 30 something, and I didn't want to drop it. So yeah, that was the real has to come. I did finish up Lost You Forever, which seems to be like the big summer hit. It is the Chinese drama starring Yang Zi and Zhang Wanyi, Deng Wei, Tan Jianxi. So that was, that drama. I am going to reserve my thoughts. I did really enjoy part one. I don't like the fact that I have to wait anything between 6 months to a year for part two. So I am not, there have been a few people that are kind of asked about it, if I'm going to review it. I am not going to review part one. I will review, because I want to review the drama as a whole. I feel like this drama was built as a whole drama, not as a part one and a part two. Unfortunately, due to censorship rules, they have had to split it in 2 parts. But I feel like I would do it a disservice to review part one without watching part two. I want to do like a full review on all of it. And what I probably will do actually, once we get part two, I will probably rewatch or, skim through part one again, note some things down, and then review the whole thing once I finish part two. So that's the idea. Overall, I did really enjoy it. It is stunningly done, like beautifully directed. The acting is beyond this world good. So yeah, that's all I'm going to say about Lost You Forever. I did really enjoy it. I also finished up You Are Desire. That's the Chinese drama starring Sabrina Zhuang and Zhou Yiran. I really enjoy it. I did think it could probably have done with a couple less episodes, but overall, it's a pretty good youth drama. It's not your typical youth drama. It's a little bit darker, and it's kind of like more about broken people, and both our female lead and our male lead are kind of like broken, and they find each other, and they kind of like heal each other. So I really did appreciate that it wasn't like your typical, there's one really sunny, bright character, and one kind of like less so. No, they were both a little bit broken, and I really did enjoy watching that. Again, I could have done with it being slightly shorter, because I feel like the story would have been tighter, but it is what it is. Now there is another one that I would feel remiss to not mention, and that is an ancient love song. It is kind of one of those that will not give you a happy ending. I want to put that out there because I know that's a turn off for some people, but it is stunningly directed, beautifufully directed, really, really, really well acted. So that stars Zhang Yaqian and Gua Jianan. So that's like really, really beautiful drama. I really did overall really enjoy it. And it's also short. It's 14 episodes of about half an hour each. So it is not long at all. I feel like, again, really well acted. It's available on Viki. So I do highly recommend that one if you can handle the fact that you're not going to get a happy-go-lucky kind of drama. That's not what this drama is about. So yeah, I'm just looking through to see if there's any other dramas I kind of want to mention. I already mentioned briefly Fake It Till You Make It. I highly recommend this one. It is a little bit of a business drama but at its core, it's like a romance drama, and I really, really appreciate the fact that it's like an older couple. And by older, I don't mean like they're old. I mean like it's a more mature relationship of sorts. They're both very much in their 30s, going on, maybe even 40s, I believe, because our female lead is 34 and the male lead is 31. So they're not in their 40s. I didn't mean that, the actors. I meant the characters, but they are both well into their 30s as characters. So I really, really enjoyed that one. This was one that was going a little bit under the radar, and I feel like it needs to be, a little bit brought forward, because it's one of those dramas that if you don't kind of know about it, I think because it doesn't have like big names in it, it can, again, fly under the radar. But but I think it's definitely worth checking out. Yeah, I think that's all the ones that I really, really wanted to mention. Oh, I did finish up Enigma, which was, I've been mentioning back on my other currently watching. Really enjoyed it. Like, it was really well produced. And we just got the announcement that Enigma 2 is coming. So I'm so excited because I definitely think the way they kind of ended definitely warranted a season 2. So I'm very, very excited to check that one out. I did finish up The Uncanny Counter 2. I enjoyed it, not as much as season 1. I feel like I loved season 1 better. I did enjoy the baddie in this one slightly better than season 1, but I don't know what it was. I liked season 1 slightly better, but overall I still very much enjoyed it, and I think that's it. That's all the ones that I really do just kind of want to mention. I did finish up a couple of movies, and that is As Long As We Both Shall Live, and that is based on I think it's like on the same manga. I believe the movie actually came out before the anime, so the anime is My Happy Marriage, and that's available on Netflix. I highly recommend it. Really, really loved it. The movie was good, but the anime was better. And the reason for the anime being better is the fact that the anime had more time to tell the story. And I feel like the movie didn't have enough time to kind of like explain. So going in as someone who has watched the anime, I kind of feel like I understood it better. But yeah, I do actually have a full mini review on this on Patreon. So if you want to check that out, it's over on Patreon. But that's it. That is, kind of all the ones that I want to mention for the ones that I've kind of completed. I think this is it. That's it for my currently watching. How do you guys like this format? Do you mind having like the animes that I kind of watch in there? I don't know. I'm trying it out. See what you guys think. Again, if you're listening on Spotify, there will be a poll up with this episode. So just let me know what you think. If it's, if you like this, or if you prefer the, category kind of episodes that I was doing in season 1, just let me know. I'm still trying things out, see what I tend to enjoy more. What are you currently watching and loving? Come and chat to me and let me know. I'm always always up for discussion. Is there something that I should be watching? Because again, I can't keep up with everything, and some things do slip through the cracks. So if there's a drama that you are currently watching and absolutely loving and thinking, why isn't she watching this? Come and chat to me and let me know. Instagram or, email, TikTok, all of that is always linked in the description notes. So, I'm always more than happy to chat. And I think that's it for this week's episode. I hope you guys have enjoyed it, and I shall see you next time. Bye. Want to find an Asian drama community? Then join the Tea and Soju Discord server, where we chat everything from C-dramas to K-dramas to J-dramas. To chat with me, check out any of the socials. Please help the podcast by rating, viewing, and subscribing wherever you listen to help others find this little corner. Lastly, consider joining Patreon to further support the podcast and receive extra content. All of the links are in the episode description. That's it. This has been another episode of the Tea and Soju C-Drama podcast. I'm your host, Liliana, and I'll see you next week for more C-Drama chatter.